It was a dark and cold night in New York City. John sat alone at a small bar. He held a glass and looked at the ice. He felt lost and tired. The light was low. The music was soft and sad. A young woman walked in. Her name was Emily. She wore a red coat and a warm smile. She looked around and saw no seat. John raised his hand. "Come sit here," he said in a low voice. Emily sat down next to him. She ordered tea. John laughed and took a big sip of his drink. The drink splashed on the bar. John did not care. He stared at Emily. He spoke in a loud voice. "You do not know this place," he said. "This is my place. I own this bar." His eyes were sharp and cold. Emily stood up. She stepped back fast. "Why are you so mean?" she asked. Her voice shook. John laughed and raised his glass. "This is my home. You have no right here," he said again. Emily's eyes filled with pain. She put her hand on the bar. She spoke in a soft but firm tone. "You will lose all you have and all you think you own," she said. "You will lose it all." Her words hung in the air like a storm. John did not listen. He laughed again. Emily's face went pale. Her legs shook. She tried to breathe. Then she fell to the floor. People in the bar cried out. John jumped up. He touched her arm. "Emily! Emily!" he cried. His heart beat fast. He ran to the phone. He called an ambulance with a trembling hand. 2 men in white coats came. They lifted Emily on a stretcher. John ran outside with them. He held the door open. The siren went on. The lights flashed red and blue. At the hospital, John waited alone in the hall. He sat on a hard chair. His head hit the wall. He felt guilty. He pressed his fists to his eyes. A doctor came out. He wore a white coat. He looked at John with sad eyes. "Your friend Emily is awake," he said. "But I have bad news. She has cancer. It is the last stage. She may have only 3 days to live." John stood still. He felt his heart break. He looked at the floor. His knees felt weak. He held the wall to stay up. He walked to Emily's room. He opened the door. Emily lay in a bed. She looked pale and thin. Her eyes saw John. She scolded him in a small voice. "You did this," she said. "You scared me. You made me fall." John said nothing at first. He knelt by her bed. He touched her hand. "I am sorry, Emily," he said in a soft tone. "I did not know. I did not mean to hurt you." Emily closed her eyes. She did not speak. John sat in a chair beside her. He held her hand and thought of a way to make things right. The next day, John came back with a big bag. He wore a clean shirt. He smiled with hope. Emily looked at him with surprise. John opened the bag. Inside was a small table. On the table were fresh flowers, bread, cheese, fruit, and warm soup. A candle burned in a glass. "I made dinner for you," John said. His eyes were kind now. "Please, eat," he said. "I want you to live." Emily looked at the food. She felt the warmth in her heart. She picked up a piece of bread. She took a small bite. A tear rolled down her cheek. John smiled and served soup. Emily ate slowly. She felt the care in every bite. After a while, she spoke. "Thank you, John," she said. "I forgive you." John's eyes shone. He bowed his head. "I am glad," he said. He asked, "What do you wish for now?" Emily thought for a moment. She looked at the room. She looked at the candle. Then she said, "I want a dress. A pretty dress. A new dress." John stood firm. He smiled with a secret plan. "Turn around," he said softly. Emily turned her head. She saw a man in a suit. He stood with a box in his hand. The man was tall and handsome. He smiled at Emily. His eyes were warm like spring sun. Emily gasped. She turned back to John. "John, who is that?" she asked. Her voice was full of surprise. John looked at the man. He spoke in a calm voice. "This is Mark. He is a tailor. He will fit the dress for you." He nodded to Mark. Mark opened the box. Inside was a soft blue dress. The dress could fit Emily's body. Mark helped her into the dress. It felt like a hug. It felt like hope. Emily touched the dress. She looked at her reflection in a small mirror. She saw light in her eyes. She smiled at John. "Thank you," she whispered. John held her hand. "You look like an angel," he said. "You shine." Emily shook her head and laughed soft. "I am not an angel. I am sick," she said. John moved close. He kissed her hand. "For me, you are an angel," he said. "You care for me when I was alone." Emily looked at John. She felt her heart beat fast. She felt love in her chest. She said, "John, you saved me tonight." John smiled. He looked at Emily's face. He felt time stand still. He said, "Share this meal with me." Emily nodded. John sat on a chair. He gave her a piece of fruit. He poured some juice. They ate and talked. They laughed and cried. They felt love grow in the quiet room. The sun set in the sky. The light turned soft pink. John held Emily's hand. He asked the nurse to dim the lights. They sat close. Emily leaned on John's shoulder. She said, "I feel joy I have not felt in years." Her voice was full of hope. John kissed her forehead. He said, "I will make every day good for you." Emily closed her eyes and smiled. She said nothing more. That night, John did not sleep. He walked the hall. He asked the doctor about Emily's days. The doctor said, 3 more days. I am sorry." John's heart sank. He felt pain like a sharp knife. But he did not give up. He went to Emily's room. He sat by her bed and held her hand. He whispered, "I will not lose you." The next day, John sold his car on money. He sold his watch. He sold small things in his home. He took every cent to pay for Emily's care and help her live. He spent all the money he had. He gave it to the hospital. He begged for care and for hope. The nurses and doctors did all they could. Emily's face looked calm. On the 4th day, Emily woke with a faint smile. She looked at John. Her eyes were soft with love. She spoke in a low voice. "John, you saved me. You gave me hope and joy." John leaned close. He wiped a tear from her cheek. He said in a soft voice, "I sold all I have. I have no car. I have no home. I have no shop." Emily reached for his hand. She squeezed it. She said, "But you found me. You found an angel." John's eyes filled with tears. He held her close. He whispered, "You are my angel, Emily." They sat in the quiet room. The candle burned low. John brushed hair from Emily's face. Emily smiled and closed her eyes. Outside the window, the night was calm. The city lights shone like stars. Inside the room, 2 hearts beat as one. John held Emily's hand. He looked at her warm face. He said, "I will love you forever." Emily nodded inside. She felt love in every breath. They did not speak again. They sat in peace. Their hearts were full of light and love. And they knew in that quiet room that life is a gift. Life is a song we must sing with joy and care. Life is short, but love is forever. If you like this story, please like and subscribe for more.